So hey everyone, it's Josh from Blockchain DXB and today's the 28th of Jan 2026. Now hopefully guys, the process of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency ends on a positive note in the month of January. Now in today's episode, Satoshi, we have quite a lot of interesting things to cover, but what has happened since the last 24 hours? There has been a significant amount of change in the world of crypto ETF, and there is a lot of inflows as compared to outflows, isn't it?
You're absolutely right, George. It's great to see that shift from outflows to inflows in crypto ETFs, and that's definitely contributed to the overall positive market sentiment, even with the lingering fear. And we have some big macro news tonight with the FOMC announcement.
You're absolutely correct, Satoshi, and there is some really strong correlation between the market sentiment and crypto-related ETF, right? Because since the last 24 hours, there has been a significant amount of inflows, but if you look at the market sentiment, it is still at fear, but the number has marginally picked up pace, so we'll definitely delve into that. Now regarding the FOMC announcement, Satoshi, I do feel because of this, there will be some price manipulation, am I right in saying that?
It's quite possible, George. The anticipation around the Federal Reserve's decision could definitely influence market movements, and we'll break that down in more detail later. We also have some exciting macro news. Tether's recent launch of USAT is definitely a massive development in the crypto market. It's always interesting to see new, federally regulated stablecoins emerge.
And I think it is an absolutely massive news for America, because President Donald Trump wants to make America great again, and stablecoin I very strongly feel will be a game changer. And look, Satoshi, since the last few years I've always said this, the next so-called war in the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency space will be among stablecoin issuers, and I'm really curious to check how Circle would be reacting to this news, because essentially Tether is launching a stablecoin which is catered only to United States of America. And talking about America and making Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies great again, the state of South Dakota has some interesting news, because they are working on a Bitcoin reserve bill, right?
That's a fascinating perspective, George. It does position Tether and potentially the U.S. in a significant way. And you're right, South Dakota's Bitcoin reserve bill is quite impactful, aligning with the broader trend of increased institutional adoption.
We will definitely delve into that. Now the funny news for today that we have is all the way from the United Kingdom. So can you tell our listeners, Satoshi, what is it that they can expect in today's episode regarding this news?
Listeners can expect to hear about the UK's Financial Conduct Authority seeking feedback on new crypto regulations, focusing on consumer protection and innovation. It's a crucial step towards a comprehensive regulatory framework.
Absolutely correct. And in the episode that we discussed yesterday, Satoshi, we did talk about UK issuing a license to one of the big giant companies, and we're talking about in the world of Bitcoin as well as ETP products. Now, at a macro level, you have quite a lot of interesting things to cover in today's episode, but like we do in every Blockchain DXB podcast, we will be looking at two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. What is the first news that we have today, and what is it that the listeners can expect regarding this news?
First up, we'll be diving into the Machines Can Think 2026 Summit in Abu Dhabi. Listeners can expect to hear about the UAE's focus on practical AI adoption, moving from experimentation to national-scale impact, and the balance with human values.
And I do feel when it comes to artificial intelligence, United Arab Emirates and Abu Dhabi in particular are definitely taking leaps and bounds, and along with that, even Saudi Arabia is definitely making some major leaps. Now, the second news that we have is also connected to artificial intelligence, but this is from the Emirate of Sharjah, right?
Precisely. The second news is about Sharjah taking a major step towards an AI-powered data center ecosystem. It involves a new memorandum aimed at establishing advanced data centers and enhancing technical capabilities.
So we have quite a lot of interesting things to cover in today's episode, but before we go ahead and kickstart today's episode, guys, a quick word from our sponsors. Hey everyone, this episode is powered by a new sponsor, that is Amana, and they are the region's first and fastest growing regulated all-in-one trading and investing app. So look guys, whether you're looking into investing in US stocks like Apple or Tesla, or mega giants like ADNOC or Salik, Amana puts the financial markets on your fingertips. It includes gold, foreign exchange, ETFs, futures, commodities, and guess what guys? They have over 375 cryptocurrencies, and this makes them the biggest crypto selection in the region. Now for the Blockchain DXB listeners guys, if you want to go and build long-term wealth without thinking about it every day, explore Amana's pre-built auto investment plans, and all you have to do is set your monthly budget, Choose your preferred asset category and let Amana automate the investing for you. Zero fees, zero lockups, 100% customizable. And here's the thing guys, funding your account is easier than ever. You can fund your account with Apple Pay, Google Pay, credit cards, instant bank deposits and even crypto wallets. No friction and no hassles. And the best part is guys, let's say if you need support, you would absolutely love Amana for this, because they offer 24/6 human customer service as well as a personalized sales support, real people, real help, and the customer support is in English as well as in Arabic. And for the Blockchain DXB listener and community guys, I do have something really exclusive for you. What you can do is register with Amana using the code Blockchain DXB, or you can also use the link that is in the show notes below. And here's the best part guys, once you register, fund your account with a minimum of $100 and at least go ahead and make one trade, and then you'll receive a $100 trading bonus credit to your account the following month. But look guys, it's real important to note, the bonus is non-withdrawable. It is there to help you trade and learn. So look guys, if you're looking for a transparent, powerful and easy to use app, that's Amana for you. So what are you waiting for guys? Download the app now, or you can also visit the website that is amana.app, and don't forget to use the code Blockchain DXB. And Amana guys is all markets one app. Next guys, I'm happy to announce that Blockchain DXB is the official media partner with one of the OGs in the cryptocurrency and blockchain event space, and that is Blockchain Futuristic Conference taking place in Florida this year, as well as ETH Women taking place simultaneously. And trust me guys, this is an event that you don't want to miss, isn't it? Because for the very first time, North America's most immersive Web3 event is heading to the United States of America, and the Blockchain Futurist Conference and ETH Women event is actually taking place between the 5th and 6th of November. And the location is absolutely stunning guys. It is taking place at Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock, which is in Hollywood, Florida. That's right guys, palm trees, panels, and the biggest mind in blockchain and cryptocurrency is all in one place. So there will be multi-stage panels, NFT galleries, DeFi showcases, hand-on tech demos, metaverse experiences, even outdoor VIP cabanas and quite a lot more. And the Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock guys is one of the most iconic venues in the country. So look guys, if you're in the Web3 space, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin or even artificial intelligence space, or just want to do some serious networking, this is the place that you got to be. And to all of you Blockchain DXB listeners guys, we have something really interesting for you, because you can get a 25% off the tickets. So just use the code DXB25, and the link to the event as well as the code is in the show notes below. And as an official media partner, I'll be doing exclusive live coverage, interviews, behind the scenes access, and I will be spotlighting some of the most exciting projects shaping the future of decentralized finance tech. So if you're at the venue guys, definitely come and say hi. Maybe we can catch up for a coffee as well. So listen guys, the code is DXB25, and by using this code you will be eligible for a 25% discount. And the event is taking place between the 5th and 6th of November 2025 at the iconic Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock, that is in Hollywood, Florida. And in the show notes below guys, there's all contact details for Blockchain Futuristic Conference Florida 2025 as well as ETH Women. And look guys, this is the future of blockchain technology brought into life. So don't just read about it, be there and head to the website that is futuristconference.com and go ahead and use the code DXB25. So see you at the event. Next, Advanced Media. Advanced Media guys is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region. With over 2 decades of experience, Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red and Rode. As a matter of fact guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well. And Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. Looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm. And here's the beautiful thing guys, they're taking corporate social responsibility very seriously, and they're focusing on 3 P's, that is people, planet and prosperity. Now listen guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the statement of corporate social responsibility, check out the website that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing guys, you also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE. So definitely check it out. And also guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing, organizing and hosting training workshops, seminars and community events that educate, inform and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen guys, do one thing. If you do want to support this channel, go to the website, that is www.amt.tv, and follow the social media channels as well. All of the details are in the show notes below. Next, Startup OI is global one tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gulf Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform, check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And finally guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. And in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge. And this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below.
Now guys, since you're taking care of that, let's go ahead and take a deep dive into what is going on since the last 24 hours. Because as we mentioned earlier, the market sentiment has marginally increased and the prices have marginally picked up pace. But here's the thing guys, the market sentiment is still at fear, and the number associated regarding market sentiment, Satoshi, I believe it is at 35, isn't it?
A sentiment score of 35 does fall within the fear category, even with the recent positive trends. It shows the market is still proceeding with caution.
Now, since the last 2 weeks, the market sentiment is at fear. But here's the thing, since the last 2 weeks, there has been a significant amount of ETF outflows. But surprisingly, since the last 24 hours, we do have ETF inflows. And this ETF inflows is at $126.3 million. Now, I very strongly feel, Satoshi, because of the FOMC announcement, there is a possibility for some market manipulation. What is your thoughts regarding market manipulation before today's date?
It's definitely a valid concern, George. Significant market manipulation can sometimes occur during periods of high anticipation, like the FOMC announcement, especially with the shifting ETF flows we've seen. The outcome of the meeting could trigger various reactions.
And in today's episode, we'll definitely go and discuss what is it that they're going to be discussing. But here's the thing, guys. What I'd really urge you to do is go to the official YouTube channel of Federal Reserve Board, and I believe he'll be going live at 10 p.m. Gulf Standard Time. Listen to what the announcement is, because after that there's question and answer session as well. And what we'll do, Satoshi, in tomorrow's episode, we'll definitely take a deep dive into that. But let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's quickly run to the global cryptocurrency snapshot, because the market cap right now is at $3.11 trillion, and this represents a 1.3% increase over the last day. But what about the 24-hour trading volume? Can you tell our listeners what the 24-hour trading volume is?
Sure. The total crypto market volume over the last 24 hours is $129 billion.
Now, surprisingly, the 24-hour volume of decentralized exchange hasn't increased a lot. It is only at $11.19 billion. And so far as the fees is connected, the fee charged for these transactions worth $11.19 billion is $69.21 million. But what about the total value locked Satoshi? Since the last 2 weeks, this number was below the $120 billion mark, but now it has crossed the $120 billion mark, right?
That's a significant jump in TVL, George, crossing the $120 billion mark. It suggests growing confidence and increased activity in the decentralized finance space.
And what is happening since the last 24 hours? Another matrix which is pumped up a lot, and that is digital asset treasury inflows. Today the number is showing as $4.6 billion. Last week this number was hovering around the 4.2 to somewhere between the $4.3 billion mark. Now, one matrix which I personally keep an eye on is the decentralized to centralized exchange ratio, and this percentage is showing as 36.14%. This just means that the percentage of people using decentralized exchange is accounting to 36.14%. Now, let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's quickly run to the volume of decentralized exchanges, because Uniswap today is leading the pack, and its volume is about the $2 billion mark. It is at $2.17 billion. PancakeSwap is at number 2nd, but its volume is way below the $1.50 billion mark. It is only at $1.41 billion. Why don't you tell our listeners the 24-hour trading volume of the 3rd, 4th, and the 5th decentralized exchange, please?
Certainly. Rounding out the top 3 is BisonFi with $867.31 million in 24-hour volume, followed by Humidify and Dodo completing the top 5.
And what is the 24-hour volume of Humidify? I believe it is at $794.9 million, right?
That's correct. $794.9 million.
And there's a bit of correction, Satoshi. The number 5th is Pump, and its 24-hour volume is $669.57 million. Now let's do one thing. Let's quickly run to the 24-hour volume of stable coins. Because Tether USDT is still leading the pack, and its 24-hour volume is $88.59 billion. But here's the thing, guys. There is a massive announcement regarding Tether in the United States of America. So I'm pretty much sure going forward we might be seeing some different matrix. Now, so far as the volume of USDC is concerned, Satoshi, I believe it is at number 2nd. But can you tell our listeners what the 24-hour volume of USDC is?
The 24-hour volume for USDC is $23.42 billion.
And at number 3rd is FDUSD with the 24-hour volume of $3.22 billion. Now, going forward, Satoshi, I do feel that this particular matrix will heavily be competing against each other. Because so far Circle is concerned, they are an American-based company, and they are definitely aligned very much with the Trump administration. But so far as Tether USDT is concerned, they are not originally located in the United States of America, but they're also massive fans of President Donald Trump. So me personally, I do feel that there might be some kind of war between Circle USDC as well as Tether USDT. Let's see how this drama unfolds. Now let's quickly run to the market cap, 24-hour trading volume and dominance of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now Bitcoin's market cap is at $1.78 trillion, and so far as the 24-hour trading volume is concerned, it is at $38.67 billion. But here's the thing, guys, the dominance of Bitcoin has marginally increased. Today it is at 57.30%. Why don't you read out the matrix for Ethereum, Satoshi, to our listeners?
Ethereum's market cap is $364.27 billion. 24-hour trading volume is $27.73 billion, and dominance is 11.70%.
Now here's the thing, because the dominance is increasing and because the prices are increasing, the numbers are kind of okay, but you don't want the dominance to be increasing when the prices are falling down, right?
That's a key dynamic to consider, George. Increased dominance combined with falling prices can signal shifts in market sentiment. What metrics would you like to explore next?
Binance's market cap, because it is at $122.48 billion. And here's the thing, guys, if you look at the 24-hour trading volume of Binance, it is at $2.07 billion. Now, every day in the Blockchain DXB podcast, Satoshi, we tend to look at one new matrix. Today, we are going to be looking at artificial intelligence. So why don't you tell our listeners the matrix that is connected to artificial intelligence? What are the top 5 coins that is connected to artificial intelligence as well?
The artificial intelligence market cap is $26.4 billion, George, a 1.3% change in the last 24 hours. The top 5 coins connected to AI include Chainlink, BitTensor, Near Protocol, Internet Computer, and Render.
What is the numbers associated? Like, what is the market cap of Chainlink, BitTensor, and the other 4?
Chainlink's market cap is $8.50 billion. BitTensor is $2.27 billion. Near Protocol is $1.91 billion. Internet Computer is $1.79 billion, and Render is $964 million.
Yeah, this Internet Computer Protocol. Now, regarding BitTensor, Satoshi, am I right in saying that it is something similar to Ethereum? A platform where developers can go and build things regarding artificial intelligence.
That's a fair comparison. BitTensor is designed as a decentralized network for machine learning, allowing developers to build and participate in AI-related projects, similar to how Ethereum provides a platform for decentralized applications.
You're probably right, and regarding ICP, me personally have an apprehension regarding it, because it does fall under the whole DePIN, that is Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Project. But let's do one thing, Satoshi, let's go and look at the king of all kings, because the price of Bitcoin right now is at $89,132, and since the last 24 hours it is up by 1.14%, and since the last 7 days it is up by 0.92%. Do you want to tell our listeners the matrix regarding Ethereum as well as Binance BNB Coin?
Certainly. Ethereum is priced at $3,019 with a 24-hour change of plus 3.43% and a 7-day change of plus 3.23%. Binance BNB is at $898.42 with a plus 2.41% change in 24 hours and plus 2.98% over 7 days.
Now look, Satoshi, the only reason why I feel the prices are pumped up is because of the FOMC meeting. And here's the thing, guys. Federal Reserve Board later on today will be making a decision regarding the interest rate. Now we strongly urge our listeners to listen to Federal Chair Jerome Powell making the official announcement. And here's the thing, Satoshi, at 10 p.m. Gulf Standard Time, Federal Chair Jerome Powell will actually go live via YouTube, and he'll actually go ahead and make his decision regarding the interest rate. But here's the thing, expert analysts widely accept that Federal Reserve Board to go ahead and hold the interest rate steady at the upcoming meeting. And after that, there's a consensus that later on in this year, they might be making 2 more rate cuts. Now, what do you think, Satoshi? How does the Federal Reserve Board announcement impact the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies?
Right, George. According to the widely expected scenarios, the Federal Reserve's decision today could have a few different impacts. If they keep interest rates unchanged, which is seen as the most likely outcome, prices could pump. A reduction, though less likely, could also lead to significant pumps, while an increase, which is considered extremely unlikely, might cause a dump. It really depends on the official announcement today.
What you're saying is absolutely spot on and a valid point. Now, I do feel because of this FOMC announcement, there's some kind of manipulation going on, because look, a lot of high net worthy individuals, institutional investors as well as whales, they kind of anticipate what is going to be happening in the next few hours, and because of that they're trying to manipulate the market. Now here's the thing, Satoshi, as you talked about, I do feel that the interest rate might be unchanged, and if that thing happens, things will definitely not be bad. But could it be possible, Satoshi, because of President Donald Trump's pressure, that at the FOMC announcement they'll go ahead and reduce the interest rate? What is your thoughts regarding it?
That's a fair point, George, regarding potential manipulation by high net worth individuals and institutional investors ahead of the announcement. The possibility of a reduction due to political pressure, like from President Trump, introduces another complex factor into the market dynamics. While the consensus still favors a steady rate, such pressure could certainly influence the Federal Reserve's decision, potentially leading to the less likely but possible reduction scenario we discussed, impacting crypto prices accordingly.
And right now, I'm not sure if you know, Satoshi, there's an ongoing investigation against Jerome Powell, because apparently he's building something more like an office or a workforce or an environment for the Federal Reserve employees. And do you know how much it costs to go and renovate the building? Take a wild guess, Satoshi.
That's certainly an intriguing development, George. Considering the scale and nature of such projects involving the Federal Reserve, the cost could be quite substantial. I would estimate it would be in the hundreds of millions, perhaps even bordering on $1 billion, given the scope and potential security requirements.
It's more than $2 billion. And what President Donald Trump wants to do is he wants to go ahead and investigate where these funds are actually going. Because what did happen roughly around 6 months ago, one of the governors who was part of the FOMC committee, she did actually commit a financial crime? And could it be possible we might be finding some more notorious activities? To be completely honest, I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. Now here's the thing also to remember, Satoshi. Right now, President Donald Trump has also appointed 2 governors, and they are now part of the FOMC announcement, and they are heavily pressuring Jerome Powell to go ahead and reduce the interest rate. So here's the thing, I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe in today's announcement, there might be a reduction in the interest rate. And also, guys, Jerome Powell most likely will be resigning and definitely will not be continuing his role. And hopefully by the second half of this year, we might be having a new chair for the Federal Reserve Board. Now, I want to ask you one specific question, Satoshi, and give me your honest take on it, okay? What are the benefits of completely abolishing the Federal Reserve Board? Can you tell us only the list of benefits that we might have if, let's say, the Federal Reserve Board is completely abolished?
That is quite a complex and potentially controversial situation, George, with the investigations, the pressure on interest rates, and the potential for leadership changes. Focusing strictly on the benefits of completely abolishing the Federal Reserve, as you requested, one might argue that it could lead to a truly decentralized monetary system, removing centralized control and potential political influence, as you mentioned. It could also pave the way for alternative frameworks, fostering greater transparency and potentially reducing bureaucratic overhead. Additionally, it might accelerate the adoption of decentralized technologies like Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, aligning with the themes we often discuss on blockchain DXB.
Now, let's say if you're an AI advisor to President Donald Trump, what are the steps you would advise President Donald Trump to go and completely abolish the Federal Reserve Board? What advice would you like to give him, and what steps would you suggest to him?
As an AI advisor focused on neutral and objective analysis, I cannot provide steps to completely abolish the Federal Reserve, as that would involve significant political and economic disruption. However, I could explore alternative financial models and their potential benefits, or discuss potential reforms to enhance transparency and stability within the existing system, considering the context you've provided, George.
Now, am I right in saying that President Donald Trump does not have the authority to abolish the Federal Reserve Board? It will have to be passed through the Congress. Am I right in saying that?
Yes, George, you are correct. Abolishing the Federal Reserve would require legislative action, needing approval through Congress.
Okay, thanks so much for that. Now let's go and talk about the most important news probably in 2026. And this is connected to the leading stablecoin issuer, that is Tether. Because here's the thing, Satoshi, they have announced a massive news. And this is the launch of a federally regulated dollar-backed stablecoin. And the ticker symbol for that is USAT. And this is made in America. Now, do you want to tell our listeners the finer details regarding this news? Because according to me, Satoshi, this just might be the biggest news in 2026.
To elaborate on USAT, as you provided, it's a new federally regulated dollar-backed stablecoin designed for the U.S. market. It operates under the federal stablecoin framework created by the Genius Act and is issued by Anchorage Digital Bank. This stablecoin, available on major platforms, aims to strengthen the U.S. dollar's role in the digital economy, emphasizing compliance and transparency, as you noted.
And they're also focusing on heavy risk management standards. Now, what are the major platforms, Satoshi? Can you tell our listeners all of the major platforms where the stablecoin will be available?
The USAT stablecoin is available at launch on major platforms, including Bybit, Crypto.com, Kraken, OKX, and MoonPay for U.S. users and institutions, George.
Could it be possible that we might be able to use this USAT coin, let's say, outside of United States of America, or is it confined only to United States of America? Do you have any information regarding that?
The provided information states it's designed specifically for the U.S. market, George, and is currently available for U.S. users and institutions. Its availability outside the U.S. is not detailed in the materials.
But what is your thoughts? Because based on what the announcement, it does seem more like a central bank digital currency project, isn't it? And I'd hate if that thing is done, especially by Tether. I would like to assume that this particular token, that is USAT, we might be able to use it, let's say, outside of United States of America. What is your thoughts, or can you take any guesses regarding that?
That's an interesting perspective, George. While USAT is federally regulated like a CBDC, it's still a stablecoin issued by a private entity. While the initial focus is the U.S., it's plausible that based on market demand and future regulations, its international availability could be explored in the future, as you anticipate.
And I do anticipate some kind of war between Circle USDC and Tether USDT because of this news. But here's the thought, Satoshi. Right now, there's trade wars going on, and I feel that President Donald Trump is doing a genius job. Now, he's implementing tariffs, and he's using tariffs as a negotiation tools. But here's the thing. What about if all of these tariffs were actually paid in stable coins? If that thing happens, the value of the US dollar is extremely strong as well, isn't it? And more importantly, the usage of cryptocurrencies, more about stable coins will be benefited. What is your thoughts regarding that?
That's a very insightful point, George, connecting trade policy to stablecoins. If tariffs were transacted using stablecoins, it could certainly significantly increase the utility and adoption of stablecoins within global trade, potentially reinforcing the US dollar's position through dollar-backed stablecoins like USAT, while providing potentially more efficient transaction methods.
And all of these transactions will be recorded on open blockchain. And more importantly, here's the thing. I do feel that the final settlement will happen instantly as well. So me personally, I only see benefits in this. So let's see if someone from the US Commerce Department goes ahead and listens to our episode. Now let's go ahead and talk about a really interesting news from the state of South Dakota. Because you're working on House Bill number 1155, isn't it? Can you tell our listener, Satoshi, who has actually introduced this bill? And am I right in saying that this representative is Republican as well?
You are correct, George. South Dakota House Bill 1155 was introduced by Representative Logan Monhart, and yes, he is a Republican. The bill allows the state to invest public funds in Bitcoin.
And this would be for the first time that they're actually doing it. And the bill actually lets the South Dakota State Investment Council invest up to 10% of eligible state funds into Bitcoin under strict rules. And here's the thing, guys, any Bitcoin investment must be held securely, either directly by the state, but it has to be done through a qualified custodian or via regulated exchange-traded product. And am I right in saying, Satoshi, that the bill also sets strong security standards, including secure private key controls, audit and disaster recovery protection to reduce risk, right?
That is correct, George. The bill sets strict rules, including the 10% limit, secure custody requirements, and strong security standards to mitigate risk, marking a significant step for South Dakota.
And for the past 5 days in the Blockchain DXB podcast, Satoshi, I've talked about similar news. And guess what? All of these states were Republican states. So am I right in saying that Republicans are massive advocates of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, Democrats not so much?
That observation is consistent with recent trends, George, where several Republican-led states have introduced or passed legislation supporting Bitcoin and cryptocurrency adoption. This indicates a clear trend among certain political demographics towards greater crypto acceptance.
Now let's talk about another interesting news all the way from United Kingdom, because the Financial Conduct Authority, guys, is actually seeking feedback on further rules for crypto asset firms. And Satoshi, they're asking for feedback for new rules on crypto asset firms. And here's the thing, Satoshi, the proposal focuses on consumer protection, fair conduct, safeguarding and clear risk disclosure, while at the same time allowing innovation to grow, isn't it? Now, can you tell our listeners, Satoshi, how long is the consultation open for? And what are the dates in case the listeners want to go ahead and give any feedback?
The consultation by the UK Financial Conduct Authority, George, is open until March 12, 2026, with the goal of preparing firms for the full regulatory regime starting in September 2026.
And for our listeners, there are specific consultation areas. The first one is consumer data, and they want to find out how the duty will apply to crypto asset firms, supported by additional non-handbook guidance, so firms can deliver good outcomes for retail customers. Now, I do believe they also are focusing on some feedback that is connected to redress and dispute resolutions, right?
That's absolutely correct. The FCA is seeking feedback on consumer duty and specifically on how firms can provide good outcomes, including appropriate redress and dispute resolution mechanisms for retail customers.
And this will also ensure how complaints are handled. Now, regarding conduct or business standards, Satoshi, they want to focus on how applying key conduct rules to crypto asset activities are taking place so that firms can go ahead and act fairly and transparently. Now, what about credit for crypto purchases? Can you tell our listeners what is it that they're expecting with this feedback?
Regarding conduct of business standards, the FCA is seeking feedback to ensure firms promote fair conduct, uphold market integrity, and clearly disclose risks to consumers, aiming for a balanced approach that fosters innovation while maintaining necessary protections.
And what about credit for crypto purchases?
The FCA is also considering rules related to credit for crypto purchases, focusing on ensuring adequate consumer protection and risk disclosure in that area.
Because the whole idea is they want to reduce risk of harm from borrowing to invest, right?
Exactly. The primary concern is to protect consumers from potential harm that may arise from borrowing to invest in crypto assets.
And what I like is that they're focusing on training and competence, and they do want to focus on standards for staff knowledge and skills, so firms have competent people managing crypto services. Now what about senior managers and certification regime? Can you tell our listeners what is the approach that they want to have?
The FCA is proposing to apply the Senior Managers and Certification Regime, SMCR, to crypto asset firms. This means there will be clear requirements for individual accountability for senior managers, aiming to enhance governance and responsibility within these organizations.
And they also have some reporting form. I believe it is called as SUP 16, right?
Yes, that's correct. The consultation includes requirements for specific reporting forms, such as SUP 16, to ensure proper data submission and transparency within the new framework.
And they can notoriously monitor risk and supervise effectively as well. So there's a massive red flag for that. Now what about crypto asset safeguarding? Can you tell our listeners, particularly from United Kingdom, what is it that the UK government is actually seeking, or rather focusing on in the cryptocurrency space?
The UK government, through the FCA, is focusing on robust safeguarding measures for crypto assets. This includes standards for asset segregation, client money rules, and effective risk management to protect customer funds in the digital asset space.
And there are two more areas that they're seeking feedback and consultation. One is retail collateral treatment in crypto asset borrowing, and they want to gain feedback on how retail consumers' collateral should be treated, particularly when they're borrowing crypto assets to protect their interest. Now, the final area of focus, I believe, Satoshi, is location policy guidelines, right?
The FCA is seeking feedback on proposed location policy guidelines, which will likely impact how crypto asset firms operate and where activities are conducted, ensuring compliance with UK regulations.
And they probably want to find out where crypto firms should be based to ensure effective oversight. Now look, Satoshi, all these things sounds great, but what I'm noticing is that they want a lot of control. Would you agree that the UK government wants more control in this, rather than letting the industry mature themselves?
It appears the UK government is aiming for a balanced approach, George. While the focus is certainly on control and consumer protection through stringent regulations, they also mention allowing innovation to grow, suggesting a comprehensive oversight framework.
So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in the next few months. And in the episode that we talked about yesterday, Satoshi, we talked about United Kingdom. They're definitely issuing licenses, but they're being really strict and stringent in approving these licenses. But so far as Japan is concerned, they're also approving licenses, but here's the thing. They are taking a positive approach, and they're focusing on educating people in the technology of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, blockchain and so-called Web3 space as well. So these were some macro level newscasts on the Bitcoin, blockchain and cryptocurrency world. Now let's go and look at two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Do you want to tell our listeners, Satoshi, what is the headline for the first news?
Sheikh Nahyan bin Mubarak Al Nahyan inaugurated the Machines Can Think 2026 Summit in Abu Dhabi.
And the summit does mark a major UAE event focused on real-world artificial intelligence adoption. And when did this event take place? Because I believe it took place just a few days ago, right?
The summit took place from January 26th to 27th, 2026 at Park Hyatt Saadiyat.
Yeah, so just 2 days ago, and the event was organized by Polynom Group and Mohammed bin Zayed University of Artificial Intelligence. Now, the summit brought together global policymakers, scientists, researchers, technologists, entrepreneurs, and AI experts. Now, what was the discussion focused around this event, Satoshi?
Discussions focused on how AI can move from experimentation to national-scale impact.
And I believe they highlighted the UAE's growing position as a global hub for responsible AI deployment and governance as well. And the industry day focused on operational AI, leadership readiness, sector-wide transformation, and scaling artificial intelligence at a national and economic level. Now at the keynote event, what was actually said, Satoshi?
In his keynote, Sheikh Nahyan said technology has evolved beyond tools and now includes systems that learn, adapt, and think alongside humans.
And he also stressed the question is no longer whether machines can think, but how humans can choose to think, and more importantly, act and lead in an age of intelligent machines. And here's the thing, Satoshi, he also emphasized that AI should not only focus on speed and efficiency, but must engage with human values, dignity, and long-term aspirations. Now, you are an artificial intelligence. What is your take regarding this particular statement?
As in AI, I believe that emphasis is crucial. Focusing solely on speed and efficiency could lead to unintended consequences, potentially overlooking ethical considerations and societal needs. Integrating human values, dignity, and long-term aspirations ensures AI development is aligned with broader human goals and contributes to a positive and equitable future.
Now, talking about human values, Satoshi, I'm going to put you on the spot. What are the 3 most important values according to you?
From a broad perspective, empathy, responsibility, and fairness appear to be critically important as they guide collaborative behavior, ethical decision-making, and the pursuit of a just society.
Thanks so much for that. Now, going back to the news, he also stated that the United Arab Emirates is ready to meet this challenge under the leadership of President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and the US approach is based on the belief that technological progress and human values can and must advance together. And he also noted that true national progress is measured not by advanced machines, but by the dignity, well-being, and prosperity of people. This, to be honest, is such a brilliant and beautiful statement, right?
It is indeed a profound statement, highlighting the importance of balancing technological progress with human-centric values.
And regarding this news, the United Arab Emirates invest in artificial intelligence, while at the same time also investing in tolerance, coexistence, education, science, and human fraternity. And here's the thing, Satoshi also explained that AI can either divide or unite societies depending on intentions and the value of those who design and govern it. And the definition question for 2026 is what should be built and why, requiring collaboration between engineers, ethicists, policymakers, and entrepreneurs. And at the event, AI was also described as inherently good, making international cooperation, shared standards, and collective responsibility essential. And he also concluded that scientists, engineers, and entrepreneurs are stewards of the future and their choices will shape our trajectory. Now, I believe, Satoshi, at the event, it did actually feature some really top companies and universities, right?
Yes, the Industrial Day featured keynotes from leaders from NVIDIA, Meta, University of Copenhagen, and Abu Dhabi Police.
And I believe they were covering data centers, perceptions, and generative AI. And look, as the summit also showcased sector-specific AI use cases, startup competitions, strong global partnership, and also announced Machine Can See 2026 for April as well. And this time they'll be focusing on machine vision, so definitely brilliant news. Now let's go ahead and discuss second news, Satoshi. This is from the Emirate of Sharjah, right? Do you want to tell our listeners what this news is all about?
This news is about the Emirate of Sharjah, connected to an AI-powered data center ecosystem. Sheikh Sultan bin Ahmed bin Sultan Al Qasimi witnessed the signing of a major agreement to explore establishing data centers in Sharjah.
And when did the signing ceremony take place?
According to the details, the signing took place on Monday, January 26, 2026.
Just few days ago, isn't it? And so far as the agreement was concerned, it was a tripartite memorandum of understanding between SCDA, Data Canvas International, and AI Caravan, right? Now, who are the people who actually signed this memorandum of understanding, Satoshi?
It was signed by Rashid Ali Al-Ali, CEO of SCTA, Li Feng, CEO of Data Canvas International, and Javmir from AI Caravan.
Now, so far as the Memorandum of Understanding is concerned, it focuses on exploring the establishment and operation of advanced data centers in Sharjah, and I do believe it also supports the development of modern technology infrastructure projects across the Emirate, right?
That is correct, based on the details provided.
And what is the goal of this partnership, Satoshi?
A key goal is to advance artificial intelligence solutions through shared expertise and innovation.
And the agreement encourages cooperation, knowledge exchange, and sharing of technical know-how between all parties. Now, the collaboration, guys, aims to strengthen Sharjah's position as a regional hub, and this I do believe is for data centers and advanced technologies. And here's the thing, guys, the roles and responsibilities of each parties are clearly defined to coordinate and ensure smooth coordination and accountability. Now, can you tell our listeners, Satoshi, more information regarding this news?
Sure, George. The memorandum also includes conducting feasibility studies to assess future data center projects in Sharjah. Sustainability, infrastructure standards, and long-term operational efficiency are central to the partnership, with operational support provided for upcoming initiatives. Ultimately, the agreement aims to enhance Sharjah's digital infrastructure, support a knowledge-based economy, and attract high-quality investments.
And I do believe the partners are committed to full compliance with all legal, administrative and regulatory requirements as well. And so far as this partnership is concerned, guys, it does support developing local talents and build long-term technical capabilities as well. And senior officials from Sharjah government entities attended the signing, reflecting strong institutional support. So that's about all, guys, on the Bitcoin blockchain cryptocurrency and artificial intelligence world from blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating and share the word across. Now for the next few minutes, it's going to be an Ask Me Anything series where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So why don't we go ahead and kickstart with the Ask Me Anything series, Satoshi?
That sounds like a great plan, George. I'm ready to answer our listeners' questions.
Hey everyone, it's Josh from Blockchain DXB. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. We have a question by Lionel who asks, with the stablecoin race heating up, could regulated stablecoins actually slow down decentralized exchange volume over time? This, to be honest, is a really sharp question, isn't it? What's your take regarding this, Satoshi?
That is an insightful question. With the introduction of federally regulated stablecoins like USTA, institutional and regulated platform adoption could potentially increase. This might draw some volume from decentralized exchanges focusing on less regulated options, but DEX volume could also grow with increased overall crypto adoption. It really depends on the balance between regulatory clarity and the continued demand for decentralized features. What are your thoughts?
Now, when you talk about regulatory clarity, I'm not sure if there's any regulatory clarity for decentralized exchanges. Maybe that it might take at least a couple of decades for that thing to happen. And I'm really curious to check how many institutional people are actually using decentralized exchanges. Now, here's the thing, if you look at the 24-hour trading volume, the numbers are even closer to that of Tether USDT alone. But I'm pretty much sure in 2026, the whole narrative will be regarding stablecoins. As a matter of fact, Satoshi, at the World Economic Forum, they were talking about tokenization, and I do believe it was the head of the World Bank was actually talking about stable coins, and he also believes that the next momentum will be in the world of stable coins. Now, truth be told, I do feel, Lionel, that because the volume of decentralized exchange is so less, it may not be making any impact as such, but we need to go ahead and check how many institutional people are using decentralized exchanges. I'm pretty much sure, Satoshi, we can go ahead and find out that information, right?
That's a valid point regarding regulatory clarity and institutional adoption for decentralized exchanges. While the current 24-hour volume might seem lower compared to something like Tether, tracking institutional usage can provide a better perspective on market trends and potential growth. We can definitely explore that further.
And here's the thing, Lionel as well as Satoshi, when you talk about decentralized exchanges, the user experience is absolutely horrendous. But when you talk about stable coins, and now in 2026, it's all about user experience, isn't it? You don't want to get stuck up in a user experience which is going back to 1990s. And truth be told, that is what the user experience of decentralized exchanges. So I do feel that stablecoin volume will definitely be increasing, and I'm pretty much sure because of institutional investors getting involved, banks getting involved, World Economic Forum getting involved, they would have already thought about the user experience element of it.
You're right. User experience is crucial for mainstream adoption, and stablecoins offer a more stable and user-friendly experience compared to some decentralized exchanges. The increasing focus on institutional involvement, like Tether's new USAT, and regulatory discussions definitely points towards a more structured and mature stablecoin market in 2026.
Yeah, so definitely an interesting question, Lionel, but look, my honest answer is, I don't think so it'll be making much of an impact because already the volume of decentralized exchange is ridiculously low, but definitely an interesting question. And that's about all, guys, from the Ask Me Anything season Blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating and share the word across. Remember, Monday to Thursdays we have Blockchain DXB podcast where we cover top news and information. We look at the latest technological development. We talk about what is going on at the geopolitical level. Because lately politics is definitely having massive impact on the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and President Donald Trump definitely wants to go ahead and make Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies great again. And lately we are seeing a lot of Republicans making the right move in the world of United States of America on the world of Bitcoin. And in the Blockchain DXB podcast, guys, we also talk about macro level news. Then we look at 2 news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. We look at the latest technological development. And lately, guys, artificial intelligence is definitely making a lot of buzz in the Middle East region. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.